So you want to create content in 2026. You've been talking about wanting to create content for such a long time, but you were afraid of what people were going to say about your content that you started creating or you have on your phone. Maybe there's a fear to post something and have someone make a comment. Maybe you're afraid of judgment, but if you're looking to start posting content, the first thing I would say is get that content out there. Start posting it because it's going to take you a couple of years to really just find your voice, find your confidence, not care what people think. Because I look back 3 years ago when I first started posting content and I was not this good. Not to say I'm a pro or I'm an expert by any means, but I am a lot better than I was when I started in year one. So maybe you're someone that hasn't even started posting content because you're just afraid. Maybe you're just afraid of, your friends laughing at you, or you're afraid that you're not going to sound good, or, you're afraid that it, people won't watch your content. But if you study all the content creators, that's where the majority of them started. They started with a few people watching their content. They started with people laughing at their content and they stay consistent, right? They stay consistent with their content. They took the time every day, some people every day, to actually evolve, get better, study themselves, right? They filmed that content, they posted it, and then they looked at the video and then they saw that there was something missing. They looked at the video and they saw that maybe their tone of voice was not what they wanted it to be. So they made that adjustment to have a better tone of voice. Maybe they were talking fast, right? They continued to talk so fast. And when they talk so fast, people just were like, this guy's talking too fast. This lady's talking too fast. I can't keep up. So then they had to change the rate of their speech. So there's so many different things that you're able to see when you actually post that content. But if you just sit at home and you post the content and you don't post it, or you have content and you don't post it, you'll never see, do people actually like this content that I'm producing? Is this content valuable in the marketplace? So you gotta test your content. You gotta put your content out there, and you also gotta see like what is my niche, because once you put your content out there over a period of time, like a year, there's so many tools that you could use to really narrow down your niche and figure out like what am I actually focused on, because you cannot be for everyone. And that's essentially what I've learned in the past 3 years is my content cannot be for every single individual. Otherwise, I'm not going to be speaking to anyone. So I'm speaking to that individual out there that wants to create content, that is creating content currently, because I want to be 1,000% honest with you. If you are creating content, you're definitely going to get a lot of crickets. You're definitely going to get a lot of laughter. And you're going to have a lot of nights where you're like, is this worth continuing? You will definitely have a lot of those nights where you're going to ask yourself that question. Is it worth continuing? And I'm going to tell you, it's definitely worth continuing, because eventually, all right, I can't predict. For some people, they get lucky and they blow in their first year. For some people, they blow in the second year. For some people, it takes them 10 years. Let's hope that doesn't take you 10 years. Let's hope it doesn't take me 10 years. But at the end of the day, you got to be prepared to go on that 10-year journey. All right. Especially if you're passionate, you'll find out how passionate you really are. Or are you just following the trends? Are you just following the trends? A lot of people are just like, I'm going to go on YouTube because one of my friends are doing YouTube. So I'm just going to follow what he's doing and start posting content on YouTube. And then they find out a year later that they've only gotten 10 subscribers, or they've gotten 20 views on their video, and then they quit because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because the person that really is passionate about posting content on whatever topic, like my passion is really just helping people. I get something from like helping people, seeing people improve, seeing people grow. That's just the nature of who I am. So I create content around who I am as a person, my passion. I don't watch movies. I read books on personal development, on mindset, psychology, and growth. Like that's my passion. That's my actual passion that I love. I'm obsessed with that stuff. So if you don't have a obsession with something, then good luck drawing other people into your community, drawing people in to watch your content. It's going to be very hard if you don't have that passion. I only suggest you create videos around your passions, right? And within the passion, there's certain topics that are essentially going viral, that are niche, and you can build around that, right? You don't have to be so broad. You can narrow it down, be specific, because passion is one part of it, but there's also strategy around it too. Like your passion, you have to be strategic. Whatever your passion is, you have to be strategic with it as well too. So my other point that I want to make is watching people in your niche is really like focusing on the successful people in your niche. Like what makes them so successful? Why are they so successful? What are they doing that you're not doing? What do they have that you're missing? Whatever it is, you need to figure that out, right? It's like a project. YouTube creation, content creation is a project. And it's a project that you have to enjoy. It's not the project where back in the day where you went to school and you did a project and you hated it. You just did it to get a grade. It should be something enjoyable. So if you're not enjoying the process, the journey of posting content on YouTube, just quit. Find something else. You're not a quitter. You are not a quitter. This is just not for you. There's something out there for you because for everyone, there's something for everyone, right? We all have a calling. We all have a path. We're all drawn to something. You just have to figure out what that is. Don't be following what I'm drawn to, right? Because it's going to be different for you. Follow what you are drawn to. What's calling you? Take a day off from social media. Take a day off from scrolling on your phone and figure out like what is actually calling you. What's saying you need to develop this? You need to build this skill. You need to work on this. And remember, I've said this before, but your calling, just because it's your calling, does not mean that it's going to be an easy walk in the park. So many people think that just because it's my calling, just because I have a knack for this, it's going to be easy for me. No, if you have a knack for it, it's your calling. There's still going to be a lot of trials, hills, bumps, roadblocks, adversity that you will go through. That's just part of the process. Because imagine that you had a knack for something, that you were called to something, and then boom, automatically you're at the top. Then most people will be at the top because we all have a knack. We all have a calling for something. So it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment, having the right mindset, consistency, dedication, determination. All those buzzwords that you hear are actually real, right? The right mindset, the right belief system, because what's going to hold you when, you go through those challenges, you go through the adversity? What's really holding you, right? Because you're going to come there's going to come a time when you're going to say, I want to quit. But you're so good. But you want to quit because you're not getting the traction. You're not getting the audience. You're not getting the views. So you need something. For me, it's God. And I'm not telling you what to believe in because that's not why I'm here. I know it works for me. Find what it is for you. I know that God is here supporting me, guiding me. He's watching over my every move, my steps that I make, making sure my head's on straight and I'm in the right direction, the right path. Gives me that hope that I will get there, right? So a big part of that, but a big part of this is having that in your life. Whatever it is for you, I'm not telling you what to believe in. That's for you to discover, for you to figure out. You could be a Christian, you could be a Catholic, you could be a Muslim. For all I care, you could be worshiping dogs or animals, right? Find something that works for you. I'm not that Christian that's going to tell you that you have to focus on Christianity or this is the religion you must follow. I do what works for me. You got to figure out what works for you. I'm not trying to divide anybody, but I'm telling you, have that foundation, because when you have that foundation, it's hard for you to get shaken because you're going to get shaken. You will get shaken. But you have that foundation. You have communities like mine. You have other creators out there. So if I don't resonate with you, then find someone that you resonate with, because I don't resonate with all creators. And there's creators out there that have 1.2 million followers, and I'll go on their page and I'll watch their content and they don't resonate with me. And that's nothing against them. Not to say they're not good, because clearly they know something because they have 1.2 million subscribers, which is a challenge to get. So they found an audience that is gravitated towards them. So that's essentially the same thing you should do. You're not going to be for everybody. You'll find a tribe, you'll find a community, you'll find people that are attracted to you and what you say and your words. You know, some people just don't like you for the simplest reason. Maybe they don't like the sound of your voice, what you wear. It could be the simple things, right? But find that tribe, find that community of people that you want to speak to. And they're out there, right? And you have value. I want you to remember that you have a value. Because, like I said earlier in this show, this episode, that everybody has a knack, everybody has a skill. Focus on creating content around that knack, around that skill, and you'll have so much fun. Every time I film content, I have so much fun. It's natural for me. It's very natural for me to speak about things that I'm passionate about. I could talk about this topic all day. If I had the opportunity to sit down and speak about personal development, mindset, leadership, motivation, I could do that all day because I actually love that stuff. I was a former athlete, and that's a part of being a high level athlete. Is like you got to be developing yourself at all times. You got to be getting better every single day. So that's just who I became. Someone that always wants to get better, someone that always wants to improve, knowing that I'll never be perfect. And that's a big one. Too many people don't post that content because they want the perfect angle, the perfect voice, the perfect message. And you could go back to my videos and you could see that there's a lot of videos where I stumble on my words. There's a lot of videos where I may have not made sense. There's a lot of videos where I said a statement, it didn't make sense, and then I went back and repeated what I said. So if you're looking for perfection, you might as well not start, because perfection does not exist. There's no such thing as perfection. Whether it's in content creation, whether it's in your life, you're going to make mistakes. You're not perfect. Work with what you have, and people aren't expecting you to be perfect. People are not expecting you to be perfect. You're not a robot. You're not an AI. You're watching me right now live. Well, not live, but whenever you're watching this video, I'm shooting this video, not an AI version of me. Maybe in the future that might happen, but this is me. And I'm not perfect. And if I ever sound perfect to anybody, then you might want to question if it's an AI bot, because nobody's perfect. But get that content out in 2026. Stop hesitating. Post it, because you're not gonna be good at first. Over time, you will develop. You will develop if you work on the skills. If you do your homework, if you do your research, you will get better. It takes time, but find a community that is doing what you're doing. Find people that can support you as you're going on this journey, because it is a journey. All right. Stop waiting. Once you finish this video, my challenge to you is to post your first video and then comment, posted. Once you posted that video, comment, posted. All right. So that's my challenge to you. Until next time, mindset is everything. Peace and love.